everybody, welcome back to Card Curiosity, where we try to find the best possible ways to make a good return on your investment in the sports card world. Welcome back. Today we have another exciting episode of Rip It or Skip It. And before we jump into this new product, let me just say big thanks as we hit 50 subscribers. That's not very much, I know, but it means a lot to us over here that you're watching our content when we put it out. And we're having fun doing it. Hope you enjoy it as well. So today, what we are looking at is 2024 Topps Chrome Baseball, a brand new release, one of the most anticipated releases every year when it comes to baseball. And we're going to dig in. We're going to try and decide if this is a product that is worth investing in. Should you be spending your money buying boxes of this set or not? And you can see here's a picture of the hobby box. Here's a picture of what they call the jumbo hobby box, I believe. And yeah, so if you remember, our framework is to take a look at four things. We look at the price to see if the product is an affordable thing to invest in. Is it too expensive, too cheap? We look at the checklist. We want to see if there are enough players in here worth buying, and also, even if there's good players, are there too many? And I think as you'll see with this one, there are a lot of players you maybe have never heard of or that you don't want to pull on this product. Third, we want to look at the grading. Is this a product that grades well? Can we send these cards into PSA or SGC and expect to get 10s on these, or is it rare to get the good grades? And then finally, the last thing we look at is whether these cards are in fact desirable over long periods of time. You fast forward 5-10 years, if you have a great player, the next Shohei, is this one of his best cards, or is it a card that doesn't really maintain its value over time? So let's jump in real quick and look at the price of Topps Chrome for 2024. So we look at Dave and Adams. This is where you can find and order boxes right now. We look at blowout cards, and let's just see kind of how they have things priced. We're looking at, first of all, blaster boxes. Those are around $40. This is what you can find at Walmart, things like that. $40 for a blaster box. A lot of people aren't too happy about that. They're usually in the $30 to $35 range, and so the prices have gone up, which is kind of unfortunate. A lot of these here, you can see these are random team break stuff here. Let's find here we go, a Breakers Delight box pre-sale. This is the box that only has the hits, right? You get 2 autographs and you get some numbered cards, and then you don't get any of the extra base cards. So you're talking about maybe 10 cards in the entire box. Almost $500 for one of these. That is pretty expensive. And as we scroll down, let's find the regular hobby box right here. 1 autograph only for $225. If I'm spending $225, I'm really wanting to get 2 or 3 autographs, I think. And then finally, let's find the jumbo hobby boxes. They're down here near the bottom. And what's this? Okay, the jumbo box pre-sale is at $450. So you do get 3 autographs here. You do get all the extra base cards and things like that. And $450 for 3 autographs is pretty steep, especially when you take a look at the checklist. And we'll jump in there in a second. But same for blowout cards. It's going to be mostly the same when it comes to prices. You have the Breakers Delight boxes at $450. You have monster boxes at, or I guess the hobby boxes here at $225, monster boxes at $75, blasters at $40. So that seems to be the going rate. Blasters, you get no guarantees of autographs. If you want a guaranteed autograph, you got to pony up $225 or more. So price is going to get a 1 out of 5 here. It's too much for what you get. It's too much of a gamble for the price. If these boxes were in the 200 to 175 range on the hobby side, and the jumbos were in the $300 to $400 range, maybe we could get a little bit better score on that price, but that's just too much for us. So let's move on to the checklist. This is where you really decide if it's worth it, because you can see what players are in here and what the possibilities are. And here's how the cards look. Pretty good. They're going to be similar to the flagship as far as what they look like. Some inserts here, and a nice one here of Ellie, of course. They have some short prints and things like that. But here's where we kind of figure out what to expect. 300 cards in the set, and that's a lot. I think I heard that's either 30 or 50 cards more than last year. You do get the guarantee of the 3 autos in the jumbo, 1 auto in the regular hobby box. But let's take a look at these 300 cards. A lot of different possibilities from how they're going to be numbered and the different refractors. Wow, that's a lot. Ton of different parallels here. Almost too many. That just gets confusing if you ask me. But here's a list of players, and you'll recognize some of the big ones, of course. But with 300 cards, that's so watered down. And you might. What if you hit like a low numbered card out of 10, and it ends up being somebody I've never heard of this guy, but I mean that'd be so disappointing. I prefer sets of around 100 players because then you know that most of the cards in there are going to be decent players, right? And so you got 300 massive names here, and that's just, I don't know. It's hard to believe how unfortunate that is. When you flip over to the autographs, maybe the autograph checklist is better. Let's take a look. You got some insert autographs here, 8 cards there, 1 card here on the MVP buyback. These all etch cards, 5. But we're really looking for the rookie autographs to see. I mean, you want the rookie autos. That's really what you're looking for and trying to get here. So if we scroll down, we'll find here they have radiating rookies. That's a nice insert. So they got all the big name rookies here for that. But those are pretty rare. Here's the rookie autograph checklist. There is 154 different rookies that are signing in here. And the problem with that is that there's only maybe 5 or 6 rookies that you can actually hit and make some money on. And so because this rookie checklist is so stinking big and the base card checklist is so big, I mean, we have to give this a 1. This is going to be a 1 out of 5. One of the worst checklists we've ever seen. Sure, you have the chance of getting a big card from Ellie or even a Wyatt Langford, but it's such a gamble to spend $450 and you probably won't. So for us, this is a 1 out of 5. It's disappointing when it comes to checklists. So let's move on to the grading. And the good news here, when we look at the grades for last year, 2023, we did pretty good. The 2023 Topps Chrome baseball overall, Gems at a 61% rate. You can see Corbin Carroll on the base got a 65, Gunner's gotten 69, Adley 66. So that's pretty solid. Love to see that. As far as gradability goes, if we go and look at the autographs here, so check out the autographs overall at 59%. That's still pretty good. And so most of the, Outman, he had the most sent in at 66%. Corbin got 55% gem rate. Adley 65, Spencer Steer 64. So the gradability is pretty good. If it was above 70 or close to 70, I'd probably give it a 5 out of 5. Being in the low 60s, I think we'll give this a 4 out of 5 on the grading score. You, generally speaking, have a good chance to get PSA 10s if you send these in to grade. So that's pretty good. Next, let's look at the desirability and staying power of Topps Chrome baseball cards. And it's one of the biggest names, one of the biggest brands. And it turns out, of course, it's one of the most desirable cards that you can have. When you have a rookie card of a big player and you want to sit on it for many, many years, Topps Chrome is one of the safest bets. So this, first we have pulled up Jose Ramirez, which might seem like a weird one, but he's been around for a little while now, 10 years in the league for Cleveland. He's a great player. Not necessarily, I mean, he's as close to a superstar maybe as Cleveland will ever get, but he's not as big of a name as a Bobby Witt Jr. and Gunnar Henderson and players like that. But still, you can see from way back in 2019, his cards have been selling for a decent amount. We have the autograph here in red. No, I'm sorry, that's the base card, and his autograph is in the yellow. And they sell pretty well. Let's look at the last year, just so you can see. Jose's having a pretty good season. And, you can see during the off season, he kind of gets a little slump down here. What's interesting, man, is I guess the rookie auto isn't graded, but an ungraded rookie auto goes for about the same as his graded base card, which is interesting. So right now the auto's a little bit higher, but he's been playing pretty well here. So like the last 90 days, you'll see his cards have steadily risen as well. And so, with his base PSA 10 base card hovering around $140, that's pretty good. The pop count's only 172, so it's pretty low. Now if we compare that to a Bobby Witt Jr., let me uncheck Jose here. If we look at the last year, again, Bobby Witt Jr. has been playing really, really well, so his cards are going to be quite a bit higher as well. He's one of the faces of the league. He's a superstar. And as long as Bobby Witt Jr. becomes, a Hall of Famer, his Topps Chrome card is going to be something that people want. And so pop count on his base Topps Chrome is at 354, and the price right there is 98. So 98 for him versus 138 for Jose. You can see Jose's a great player. His card is demanding more than $100, which is great. If we scroll down to Gunnar and look at his PSA 10 on the base card, that thing it's doing pretty good. Especially this year, last 180 days, 6 months. Gunnar's having a great year. His card's starting to creep up as well. But I'd say typically for your average player, you're talking $20 to $30 for these PSA 10 base cards. If they're a bad player, it's going to get even lower than that. And if I throw on, Corbin Carroll right here as well. Corbin has been struggling this year, so his trajectory isn't as good. Last sale was at $22. And so I guess the moral story here, if you can find a player that's going to be a superstar, the question is, do you want to own their Topps Chrome rookie card? And I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is yes. And so if you do your homework and you decide that, Gunnar or Bobby or, Jose or somebody's going to be a superstar for the next 10 years and they're going to be a Hall of Famer, owning a Topps Chrome rookie card in PSA 10, I think, is a great place to be. So as far as the desirability and the staying power goes of this particular set, we're going to give it a 5 out of 5. It's one of the most sought after rookie cards for sure. So overall, if you add them all up, we got a 1 for price, a 1 on the checklist, both very bad, 4 on the grading, pretty good, 5 on the desirability, and that gives us 11 out of 20, which isn't great. So we're going to give this the old skip it stamp and suggest that instead of buying boxes of this card, maybe consider a break for your favorite team or your favorite player. Maybe you want to collect Wyatt Langford. Maybe you want to collect Gunnar Henderson or Ellie. And instead of spending $500 on one box, maybe you spend $500 on the Cincinnati Reds in a break and see if you can't hit something nice from Ellie. Or maybe you just go ahead and buy singles. Maybe you just wait till some of these cards come out and you start accumulating Ellie De La Cruz rookie cards or Jackson Curio rookie cards. Something like that, I think, is going to be a better way to spend your money when it comes to this product. So at least for this year, that's the verdict. Skip Topps Chrome and look for the singles, look for the breaks instead. All right, until next time, stay curious.